Hey, this is Donna Price with Visionary Womenpreneurs Radio, and I am thrilled that you have decided to join me today. The purpose of this show is to interview women that are making a difference in the world, that have created a vision of impact, a vision where they impact their world and the world. We bring together at Visionary Womenpreneurs a network of women to connect, collaborate, and celebrate. They envision with purpose. They lead by connecting with other women and collaborating with them. They strategize to have an impact on the world, and they take consistent action to make it happen, celebrating their successes along the way and taking on challenges and learning from them. We focus on areas such as ending poverty, empowering women and girls, youth education, earth stewardship, womenpreneurship, health, and well-being. We talk to women that are impacting the world so that they can inspire you on how you can make a difference in the world. Join me in welcoming our guests and let me know if you have questions that we can answer. Thank you for joining Visionary Womenpreneurs Radio today. I am thrilled that you are here. Today on Visionary Womenpreneurs Radio, I want to welcome Loren Fogelman. From 2018 to 2020, Loren's been steadily recognized by HubSpot in its annual list of the world's top 22 business coaches. As a keynote speaker, Loren delivers talks and workshops across the U.S. at major conferences such as Inbound, one of the world's most esteemed content marketing events for entrepreneurs, as well as many niche conferences. She's a regular contributor to Inuit's Firm of the Future series, Accounting Web, and the author of 2 Amazon bestseller books, The Winning Point, How to Master the Mindset of Champions, and The Success Solution, Breakthrough Limiting Beliefs for Business Success. Loren is an expert in pricing strategy and sales. She coaches entrepreneurs to shift away from the dollars per hour business model to a value-based model that reduces workload by as much as 50% while doubling revenue. Today, we are thrilled to have Loren, and we're going to be talking about the ultimate pricing strategy. Loren, welcome to Visionary Womenpreneurs. I'm so glad to have you here and to reconnect with you after years and years.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for really inviting me to this. I so have been looking forward to our conversation because when visionaries, Donna, are changing the world in a really impactful and profound way.
I agree. And I think, women are a force to begin with, and to see all the women that are taking action, even now in the state of the world, in the pandemic, and the innovative ideas that women are coming up with to solve problems and help neighbors and things like that is always so impressive. So I'm thrilled to have you here to talk about how your business impacts the world and how your business makes a difference for womenpreneurs, but for people in general as well.
What I feel is that when entrepreneurs do well, and I work with service-based entrepreneurs, when they do well, they give back generously. They give back to their community, whether it is local, regional, national, global, by being able to give back in effort, give back in time, give back, investing back into the community that is near and dear to them. But basically, what I believe is with service-based entrepreneurs is when I go up the ladder, I take other people up the ladder with me. When my clients go up the ladder, they take other people up the ladder with them also. And it just creates this wave of positivity and good.
I agree. I call it like ripples. I think of like when you drop something in the water and it just has this ripple that goes out. And that's what when success happens, we're just all rippling that success out from ourselves. So I know that you were on my show, I don't even know how many years ago now.
And probably around 2010.
Okay, so 10 years ago. About. So I'd like to hear about your background, about the idea that shifted your business, and then how you decided to empower entrepreneurs to double their income.
Mhm.
So a lot of questions in there.
There were a couple, and I'll do my best to answer each and every one of them. Donna, what I believe is that it's an evolution. Where I first start out and where I end up, and where I'll end up at the end, is part of the path and the journey, because I become aware of things, or something comes to me that I never could have seen at the beginning of my path. Or where I am now, I can't see maybe my next best move. Because of that, I really feel that it's a journey and an evolution. Similar to the fact that I joke with my husband that I'm not the same woman he originally married. I've changed a lot since we first got married 32 years ago. Fortunately, we still love each other deeply. And that part has been consistent. I'm very appreciative. However, getting back to how I've been on this journey, and right now my journey is to help service-based entrepreneurs who charge by the hour, the session, or the project to be able to separate their fees from time, because your fees, your time is your highest value to you, but from your client's perspective, when you put yourself in their shoes, that's not really what they value most when they come and look at hiring you and using your services. But basically, what I believe is, in so many ways, school gave me the tools that I needed to be able to help my clients to be able to lift themselves up, have a business that is highly profitable and supports them instead of one that drains them. But where school missed the mark is in helping me to be an employee. They taught me to work for somebody else as opposed to be an entrepreneur or an employer. Because of that, when I got out of school, I didn't know how to do three specific things. I didn't know how to network and the importance and value of networking. I didn't know how to do sales conversations and how to enroll someone into working with me. Plus, me as well as my clients, none of us really want to be salesy. We don't like the sales part. And how do you do that in a way that feels genuine and authentic to you? And then the third part is, I didn't know how to price my services without trading dollars for hours, because I went into the workforce as an employee where I was either paid an hourly rate or salary. So my time was always connected to my income. And that's not really the best pricing strategy for service-based entrepreneurs. Because of that, I have found in my research a couple of things which is just impactful. Up to 50% of entrepreneurs undercharge for their services. 80% of entrepreneurs make less than $100,000 a year. And actually over 30% of entrepreneurs and small business owners don't even pay themselves. And that needs to be changed, because we are really the backbone of our economies, no matter which country we live in. And that, as I said earlier, when we do well, we take other people up the ladder with us. Therefore, I'm really on a mission to help entrepreneurs separate their fees from time and be able to really get paid very, very well for the difference that they make for their clients and for their community at large.
Pricing is so important. And I think one of the biggest challenges that entrepreneurs face is figuring out how to price and feel confident in the price that they present to a client or a potential client. So what are the biggest pricing mistakes that you see entrepreneurs making?
The biggest mistake that I see is that they continue to price by the hour. They do it because when they go from being employed by somebody else to being an employer or an entrepreneur, is they don't realize that there are other options, because, as I said, their time has always been tied to their income up until now. Plus, when they're first starting up, there's so many things that they have to do. There's so many decisions that they have to make. They are just taking as many shortcuts as possible. But they end up leaving money on the table when they continue to connect their fees with time, because they don't realize that charging for your time is unfair to your clients and it's unfair to you. The reason that it's unfair to your clients and to you is because it puts you actually against your client, because your client now wants you to do things as quickly as possible to pay as little as possible for your services, whereas you're encouraged to actually drag something out longer because then you make more money. Therefore, it doesn't incentivize you to actually become more efficient or effective, because then you end up losing money and leaving money on the table. Therefore, we need to separate your fees and time and actually focus on value instead of time.
Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit more, like that approach to pricing that emphasizes value instead of time. How do you help people make that shift?
It is as much of a mindset shift as it is of a strategy and a tactical shift. I go through all those things with my clients. What I see is that first you have to connect with your personal value before you can expect anybody else to recognize the value that you have to offer. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we undervalue what we do for our clients, or we focus too much on the steps that we are taking with our clients to be able to achieve an outcome. However, you want to recognize that your highest value is what you know, not what you do. What you do is important to you because that's where you spent so much time and effort training, getting those skills to be able to help your clients achieve a certain result. However, your clients are more interested in the outcome and whether they can trust you to achieve that result and that you'll deliver on your promises than the steps necessary to actually get to that outcome. But because of that, you want to start to put yourself in your client's shoes, start looking at your service from their perspective. What is the problem that they have when they come to you? What is the benefits that they get from working with you? What's possible because they hired you to be able to do a certain thing, whether it's fix a problem or achieve a particular solution. And the other part of it is, what is the price of continuing to tolerate that problem? And when you start to look at those things from your client's perspective and where they're at, it lets you then start to connect your value to your fees. Your clients are no longer hiring you for time. Now they're hiring you for an outcome and a benefit. Therefore, there's 3 different things that I teach my clients, Donna. The first one is personal value. You have to, like I said, connect your self-worth and what you bring to the table and understand it before you can expect anybody else to see it. Then it's pricing for value. It's separating your fees from time in order to really get paid more than just what your time is worth, because as you gain expertise, you get faster. Then the last part of it is having a value conversation. How do you have a conversation with enrolling a potential new client when you don't like the sales part? And that's the third part of the things that I teach with having a value business, is really how to have a value conversation without being salesy.
So, excuse me, let's continue on that line. How do you have that conversation where you explain that value to a potential client or customer, so that, because they are also thinking in the time, money paradigm. So you kind of have to bring them into that new understanding that you've got.
Absolutely. Actually, when you do a value conversation, it is counterintuitive to how you think a sales conversation ought to go. What I teach is called the 70-30 rule. What you want to do is have your client talking 70% of the time, you only talk 30% of the time. Now, right now, you might be talking 70% of the time. We need to flip that, because when you're talking 70% of the time, you're focusing on you. You're probably pitching your service, which most of us don't enjoy doing anyway. It feels very, very salesy. when you flip it by having your potential client talking 70% of the time, you do that by asking great questions. This is more of having a discovery conversation where you're finding out those things that I told you before that your clients are highly value is, what is it that they want to achieve? Where are things right now? What are some of the things that keep them from achieving that? What's possible once they do achieve that? That's some of the things that you absolutely want to find out during a value conversation. The way to be able to really understand that is by asking great questions. When you ask great questions, the beautiful thing is that those questions have a potential client naturally see the value that you bring to the table because you're taking time to learn about them and understand what's going on for them, whether it's in their business or in their personal life. By you doing that and really attending to what they have to say, they will naturally ask you, how does this work? And that's no pitch required. You don't have to sell. Now you can discuss what the next steps would be like if this person is a good fit. The really cool thing, Donna, about this is that not only are they deciding whether they want to work with you, but during a value conversation, you're deciding whether you want to work with them also, because another problem that so many entrepreneurs have is they end up with these clients that aren't ideal clients for whatever reason, and then they hold on to them for too long because they don't want to ever fire a client for a variety of different reasons. This lets you decide whether you want to actually have someone work with you or not. And during this value conversation, if it's not a fit, you just bless them and send them on their way. If it's a fit, you can talk about what the next steps will be and invite them to move forward with you.
That sounds great. And I would assume because you're having these conversations, your business is filling up. So that makes it easier for people to make those choices as well, I think, when they have that confidence that they don't have to sign up every client that comes their way.
I want you to cherry pick your clients, because when you end up with a non-ideal client, it is frustrating. It is time intensive. It costs you more time to be able to work with that person than probably your ideal clients. And it's costing you money because a lot of times they don't value you. They don't respect you. They might be challenging you. They don't follow through. A variety of different reasons. It is so much easier to not invite that person to work with you than to take them on, and then later on you're ending up feeling frustrated. It's costing you time, and it is also affecting your bottom line and your income.
Yeah, because it's costing you a lot more time, probably.
It is energy draining in so many different ways, and we hold on to non-ideal people for much too long. I'd rather you just set a boundary right in the beginning, cherry pick your clients, not invite those non-ideal clients to work with you.
Great. You might have said this already, but I want to be really clear. What are the 4 things that clients value the most and will happily pay for?
Mm-hmm. I haven't said that yet. Okay. I believe that this is one of those things that we don't recognize, because so often when you're charging by the hour, the session, or the project, you're connecting your fees to time. You believe that your clients are buying your time. That is not your highest value, as I mentioned before. Your highest value is what you know, not what you do. It's your wisdom, your experience, your way of just showing up in the world, and how you do things versus how somebody else does things. Let me go ahead and share the 4 things that clients highly value. They want it to be easy, quick, save them money, and make them money. This applies whether you do a soft service like health and wellness, or whether you do a business-to-business service. I'm going to go ahead and give you an example of both.
Okay, great.
With the soft service, let's say you're a massage therapist. How do you go ahead and make it quick, easy, save money, and make money for a client? The way that it's quick is, I have lower back pain right now. And if I'm suffering from lower back pain where my back goes out, then I want to be able to just get relief as quickly as possible. Well, all I need to do is call you up, make an appointment to come in. I know that after a session with you, I will feel better right away. That makes it very, very quick. I don't have to try all these other things and maybe I'm getting relief and maybe I'm not. How is it easy? Well, all I had to do was show up and lie on the table. I can't imagine it being any easier than that. Yeah. That's how it's easy.
Yeah.
Because you know what to do. You know that even though there's something going on in my lower back, that's where I'm feeling the pain. Maybe there's something in my shoulders that's triggering that, or something in my hamstring that needs to be loosened up. You can feel where the knots are and the tension is because you've been trained to do that, whereas me trying to figure it out on my own or try a whole bunch of different remedies and practitioners is going to be a long, frustrating process. Therefore, you're my go-to person. How do you save me money? Well, I don't have to try all these different remedies and maybe I get relief or not before coming to you. I don't have to go to other practitioners. I know that you are my go-to person when that happens. How do you make me money? Well, when I'm not feeling well and I have that back pain going on, I'm not as productive. I'm not as focused, which means that when I'm talking to people, I'm not as engaged with them. Because of that, that is going to affect my business, how I show up, or how the quality of maybe the connections or the work that I'm doing. Because you're able to quickly give me relief, I am more focused, I'm more productive, I have a better connection when I am meeting with people. That's how it works for a source service of possibly health and wellness. How does this apply now for business to business? I'm going to use bookkeeping as an example. If I am a business owner, I hire a bookkeeper. How is it quick? Well, I know that if I'm trying to put all the transactions and the data into keeping my books up at the end of the month, it might take me 8 hours to do that because I don't do this all day, every day. It's actually kind of painful for me. How is it?
It's painful for many
right?
of us.
It's painful for most of us. I believe unless you're a bookkeeper, you ought to hire a bookkeeper out. That ought to be one of your first things because money likes being paid attention to. You just don't have to do the data entry yourself.
Yes.
But okay, so that's how it's quick, is that you can probably do in 1 hour what would take me 8 hours to do. How is it easy? I give my bookkeeper access to my credit card views, to my bank for view only. She can go ahead and gather that information for me. She doesn't need to actually be talking to me about all these things unless I have some unusual charges for the month. She wants to then clarify them to be able to categorize them right. But she is just doing it for me, and she does this all day, every day. That's how it makes it easy. I just give her access. I don't have to do any of the technical work to be able to get my reports accurate. Yeah. And then how does it save me money? Well, if I'm in my QuickBooks fidgeting on my own, I might actually miscategorize something or put something in the wrong place. That could then throw off all of my numbers. I wouldn't even know probably the mistake that I made because I wasn't aware of that. Because that it can lead to some costly things. Plus also, I know that with my bookkeeper, if I have redundancies or things that I'm not actually using or payments that I haven't received yet because there's outstanding accounts receivable, she's coming to me with those questions in order to plug up the money leaks. She is looking out for my best interest to save me money. Yeah. And then how does it make me money? Well, the fee that I'm paying her to do that service is less than what I would charge for my own services, and therefore it frees up my time to be able to work in my business, possibly doing something for a client, or it frees me up to work on my business, strategically growing it in some way, including have a conversation with you right now, Donna. And that's how it is able to help me make money. It frees me to work either on my business or in my business.
Terrific. Great examples. So the four things, just to review, are easy,
Yep.
quick, save money, make money.
Yes.
And people will pay for those four things.
Absolutely. They will pay for those four things.
So when you're coaching clients and they're ready to value price their services, how do you coach them in figuring out for their business those four things, like what those things are and how to communicate those with a potential client or customer?
Well, when my clients are first going from charging by the hour, because most people do, over to value pricing, a couple of things that I do with them first is some of it is about mindset. We need to look at where they might have some beliefs that are holding them back and may be causing resistance about moving in this direction. The bottom line is that if this is something you feel you're ready to do, you don't need to get permission from anybody to do this. You're an adult, you've been in business long enough, you have the expertise to be able to separate your fees from time, and to be able to find a way to do it that feels genuine and authentic for you. The next thing that I talk with them about is how do you communicate this when you are working with clients? The thing that you want to do is really focus on how you can help your clients to be able to fix a problem or achieve a particular result. You want to focus on the outcomes and the benefits of them working with you, not necessarily on the steps that you will be taking with them in order to be able to achieve that results. They just want to know if you can do this. That is really the bottom line. It's similar to getting in your car. You don't want to know how things work underneath the hood of your car and your engine. You just want to know that if you push the button to turn on your car, it's going to reliably get you from where you are to where you want to be. You don't need to know all the mechanics of it. The next thing you want to do is really understand how to have a value conversation in order for people to recognize the value that you bring to the table and why they ought to hire you. Some of the things, as I mentioned earlier, is you want to ask them great questions, understanding what is it that they want to achieve? What is that outcome? Look at some of the criteria that they see that will let them know whether they were able to successfully do that with you or not. What are the metrics or what criteria are they looking at? The other thing is, why is this important to them? Why does this matter? And one of the things to maybe think about that really positions you as an expert and makes them decide that you're the one that they ought to be working with is, what is maybe one or two things that they might be overlooking as they're moving in this direction? Because you're the expert. You know some things that they don't know because you're doing this all day, every day, solving this problem or helping your clients achieve that result. Because of that, based upon what it is that they want to achieve, there might be a better approach. There might be some things that happen in the future that they just can't anticipate. And bring those things to the table to let them know that you really get it and you know how to be able to take care of them in a way that's going to allow them to move forward. And then the next thing that I look at is when you work with clients, and this is really golden, this is a nugget right here, is instead of simply offering one way to work with you, either we do this or you move on because this doesn't seem right to you, you want to actually offer three options. What I teach my clients is that you want to offer three different packages or bundles of how to work with you. I simplify them with them being silver, gold, and diamond packages. With the silver is the very basic things that need to be able to help them fix their problem. It is the bare essentials. It's for the cost-sensitive clients or maybe the people just trying this out and they're just starting to move in this direction. The gold is actually where the majority of your clients will be and how they work with you. In that package, it's really all the essentials of what they need, plus more to help them start to move forward. And then the diamond is for those clients that have exceptions. Maybe there's more complications. there's some additional things that they want or need to be able to have you actually serve them to the highest good. When you're doing that, then it shifts their decision from, this is the only way that we work together. And with that, the decision is, do I work with you or do I move on, work with somebody else? When you're offering 3 packages, now the decision is, how do I work with you?
Right.
And which package is best for me? That is a game changer. And they don't care about how much time each little step is in the package. They just understand that they need this list of things all bundled together to be able to achieve that outcome. And that starts to separate your fees and time. And it's something that I do with my clients. It changes everything for them.
Nice. I love that, because I think a lot of people don't make that kind of offer of different options for people. It's like, this is the way that you work with me, and it's just one option that you get.
Mm-hmm. Right. But the thing is that right now we buy that way all the time. Let's look at airline tickets. You can buy first class, business, or coach. And there's different amenities in each of those classes depending on the needs of the person. Think about that. If you're already making buying decisions in packages, then you can apply this to your business also.
Definitely. You've really shared a lot. So what do you recommend for our listeners who are ready to value price their services, that are thinking like, yes, I've definitely got to shift. I'm in this hourly thing. It's not working. You're so limited with hourly because there's only so many hours in the day. So you can only go so far. I mean, you can increase your hourly rate, but that's your only option really for increasing your income. So
absolutely, it limits your earning potential. I want to help to break you from that old model because it doesn't work. And it was made up by an attorney who needed to justify his high fees to his clients. People don't even know where it comes from, but it's used all over the world. So we need to shift away from that. What I have, Donna, is a book called Get Paid What You're Worth. It focuses on really what it is that separates you from everybody else, how to start to understand who your ideal client is, ways to be able to separate your fees from time, connecting with the mindset piece of where you might be limiting yourself and pushing up against something, how to be able to start to break through that, understanding what separates you from everybody else who's offering a similar type of service or outcome. What is your process for walking your clients through the steps to be able to achieve that outcome? And then who is it that you want to bring onto your team to be able to help you move in this model, whether you're a solopreneur or whether you have a team. You need to have people around you that help to lift you up and take things off your plate. If that is something that appeals to you, you're ready to get started, this is really something you've been looking forward to, then Get Paid What You're Worth resource is at businesssuccesssolution.com/worth. All you need to put in is your name and email address. You'll immediately get that resource. It is going to start to guide you through the process and help you separate your fees from time.
I love it. So Get Paid What You're Worth at businesssuccesssolution.com/worth. We'll have that down in the notes as well. If people want to be in touch with you, is your website the best place for them to reach out to you?
If there is someone who really resonated with what I'm talking about, feels that this is what they've been looking for, they are ready to really make it happen, I offer a complimentary Path to Profit strategy session. The way to be able to find that, and that's the best way to connect with me, is at, once again, businesssuccesssolution.com/let's talk. It's all one word, let's talk. And that is the way to be able to have a further conversation about how to apply this to your business and be able to double your income working half the time.
Great. Okay, so that link is going to be in the notes as well.
Perfect.
And I love that. So people can be in touch with the book, have a strategy session with you. And pricing is so important for every business. And this is a really important conversation. So I encourage people to get the book and reach out to Loren as soon as possible. Loren, I want to just thank you for being here today. Is there any last words of wisdom that you wanted to share with people before we sign off today?
I believe that so much of success happens from the inside out. If there's something you're being called to do, then even if nobody else is doing it, follow the calling.
Definitely. And even if other people are doing it, follow the calling.
Follow the calling.
Yes.
It's purposeful.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for being here. It was great to talk with you again after all these years. I really appreciate the free gifts that you're giving for listeners and appreciate talking with you.
Thank you, Donna.
Thanks for listening to Visionary Womenpreneurs Radio. We can be found on all the major podcasting platforms such as Spotify, Google Podcasts, iPodcasts, Overcast, Stitcher, and Anchor, our host. I encourage you to download the platform that you love and listen to Visionary Womenpreneurs. Hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss an episode. And thanks for being one of our valued listeners. If you haven't had a chance to pick up the Visionary Womenpreneurs Field Guide yet, you can do so over at visionarywomenpreneurs.com. Right on our homepage, get that field guide and get started putting your vision and dream into action and make it happen.